Okay, hey, good morning, black women and the rest of Americans that are tired of Trump and his bullshit, right? So tomorrow, y'all, the effects of the tariffs, the consequences of that is going to take place tomorrow. It's going into effect. So that means very shortly after that, or maybe even the same day, prices are going to skyrocket. Y'all know this. We've been through this before. Those of us that are old as me, damn near 60, we remember Reaganomics, okay? So for those of you that don't know that history, look up Reaganomics. Look up how his politics affected the economy, tore down black businesses, small businesses everywhere, destroyed the Hispanic community. Like, look and see what you're up against, right? So that way, you know how it goes. When you know your history, you know your future, and you can alter the future by knowing your past. All right. So being a consumer is going to become a serious thing. So you can, take control of that too by being very frugal and spending your money where you only need to spend it. Don't be out here frivolously shopping, okay? Don't spend money you don't need to. And for all the black people I seen on here acting ridiculous about Target, stop it, okay? You do not need to spend your money in Target. There are other options. You can get a membership at Costco, and if that's too expensive, you have what's that other place? It's called Boxed, BOXED.com. No membership. It's a bulk supply warehouse too. Go online, buy all the stuff you need, and have it sent to your house. Okay? I do that all the time. Like when I go to Costco, and there are things in Costco that I need, I bring it home that if it's not too much. When it's things that I need that's in there, I can't really afford it, or I don't want to spend the money on it like that, I go right to Boxed, BOXED.com, order that stuff, and wait for it to come to my house. And I'm only telling you about that other website because I know a lot of people are also boycotting Amazon. Rightfully fucking so. Because we give these people more than enough of our money. And if they don't want to, give us respect in kind or just do the right thing, then you then you withhold your money until they start doing what they need to do. In addition to that, right? I just saw in the news here that in my state, our leaders are actually fighting back about the executive order to freeze federal funding, which is the OPM. That is the Office of Personnel Management. That is the central money management for all of America, where people get paid out everything that keeps them living and surviving. Everything from Social Security, disability, retirement, Veterans Administration, everything that comes with the veterans, everything that comes with anybody that's disabled, old people, retired people, child care, health care, federal program, everything you could think of. All the money that goes to the state, that trickles down to the cities, that's where all our money comes from. Everybody knows that. You know about the three branches of government. Federal, that's the one that executive branch is the one that does that. The Congress is the one that makes the bills. Those two get that money flowing. Okay? So now listen. In knowing this, right? It's real simple, y'all. We just have to be very vigilant about the things we do and stay on our representatives' asses. Now, in my state and in many other states, you finally see representatives getting up off their ass now. And the reason you see that is because you're talking about the whole country being affected. Now, that leads to a couple of things. Those of you that have probably already looking up how do you impeach a president, don't forget to add in the fact that this motherfucker has full immunity from the Supreme Court. So that means that anything he does in his official capacity as president, besides, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, so look it up, treason and dereliction of duty. Because when you look up ways to impeach the president, it's like almost 10 of them, right? However, They put them in order to like the most significant down to the lowest ones. And right now he ain't doing shit that's going to get him really impeached. They planned this out well, okay? So in order for us to throw a monkey wrench in their plans, we got to seriously pay attention to them. And it's not by watching the news. You got to go on to whitehouse.gov, read everything you can about whatever they're planning to do, because they have to put this out there. Now, can they take shit away like they took the Constitution down? Yes. That don't stop you, though. Because if you get any old history books from school, the literal Constitution is in there. Every page of it, every section of it. And if not, buy a book offline or go to the library and get a copy of the Constitution and read it. It's that simple. Then you got to go on all the government websites just to keep abreast of what they're doing, so that if you have a chance to bear down hard on your local representative, let them know we're not, that bill is completely detrimental, is harmful to us. We do not want you voting for that. Vote against it. You're going to go to whitehouse.gov, senate.gov, congress.gov, house of representatives.gov, stateassembly.gov for whatever state you live in, and every other governmental website you have in your particular state, because some states have more courts than others, right? Some states, when I say that, most states have circuit courts, then they have district courts, state appeal courts, and then the Supreme Court, right? But in some states have more small courts. Like I just learned the other day, some states in the Midwest have like orphan courts, and what was one of the other courts that I had never heard of before? That's the only one that's coming to my mind right now, but it was like 3 or 4 other ones that I didn't even know existed. Because in my state, all those type of things that work with the family and with like delinquent kids is done in family court. And if it's something that has to deal with anything matrimonial, all the way down to from divorce to custody, in my state, that goes to Supreme Court in the surrogate court. So it's like different things like that you need to be aware of in your state, so that go on those court websites too. You can learn a lot of things that's happening in your state by going on to the court libraries. Each courthouse in your state has like a newspaper that will be what is it called? The Law Journal. But New York State is called a New York State Law Journal. But anyway, this newspaper pretty much tells you about stuff that they don't talk about in the news. It talks about the different cases that were won in courts that set precedents, or that a judge is currently making a opinion or a decision on, depending on whatever it may be, like rights, amendments to rights, supplements to things. So always keep abreast of all of this stuff. And what else do they do when they do that Law Journal? They talk about changes in sentences for particular crimes. They talk about ways that the court will change through normal court proceedings. So I'm just telling you all these things because all of these things are different forms of information to keep you like up to date on everything that's happening where you live, so that you are not thrown a curveball or something comes out of nowhere and you're like, damn, when they start doing that, I didn't know that. This is the way you do it. And also, most importantly, you really want to be on congress.gov, because Congress does all the voting, right, of all these bills that become laws. They do the first round of voting, okay? If it passes through the Congress, then it's going to backtrack to the Senate. And then the Senate is going to be like the next to last stop before it's sent to the president to be signed to become an actual fucking law. Now, let's say the president goes, I'm not feeling this law, because that's what he's going to do. Trump is going to do most times, because he is going against the best interests of the American public, right? So he's going to veto the bill. If he vetoes the bill, it goes back to the Congress and the Senate to vote again. So that is why it's important to pay attention to the bills on the floor, Because during those processes of it going through the Congress and to the Senate, that's when you're supposed to be on the phone of that Capitol switchboard 202-224-3121, and you're supposed to be talking to your senator, right? My senator is Jessica Ramos. Senator Ramos, this bill such and such and such, I want you to vote no for it, and I'm going to tell you why. Or I'd like to hear why you feel whatever. Just have the conversation, and then look, I have some suggestions, I got some thoughts, and I want to talk about some other options or some other issues I have in regards to this bill or whatever. This is what you got to do. Now, most times, are you going to be talking to Senator Ramos? No. You're going to be talking to one of her aides or whoever in her office. But if you actually talk to them and tell them you want to set up an appointment to speak with her, you're supposed to be able to. All right? I've only done that like maybe 3 or 4 times in my entire lifetime. I did it with Senator Moynihan over a child support issue. My beloved senator who passed away and shit, Peralta, he died during the COVID situation. He really was a good senator. He was really for the people. I don't want to talk about him because I'm going to get upset because I really like that man. He really was, it's real rare. You get a representative in office that literally cares about the people, not trying to get rich, not trying to hobnob with the wealthy, but who gives a fuck about people having a place to stay, a job to take care of their family. Oh, I'm getting emotional now. But my senator was like that. And I think they got rid of him, but I can't prove that. So that's just an allegation. But he was a good guy. Taken way too soon. Okay? Anyway, let me get off Peralta because I'm going to be crying in a minute. But anyway, you got to do this. You got to call up. You got to make your concerns. You got to make your concerns known. You got to make your wants known, right? And you got to read those bills. Take your time, because it took me time to learn how to navigate that system on congress.gov, because when you drop down those menus, you click on shit and you read stuff. It's not like a user-friendly where you could figure out, okay, when I do this, I go right back to the bill I was looking at. No, it sort of shifts around, right? So the way I did it at first was I took a paper and a pen and I wrote down the bills I was looking at or whatever, right? Took a little time to get the hang of the website so that I wouldn't lose where I was. Because even if I had to start all over again to search out the bill, at least I knew what I was looking for. By doing that, then I found out how to drop down other menus, go into other links, come back around to actually where I was, go to the sponsors of those bills, co-sponsors, look up some of the things they've done in the past, look at some of their records, go to external links. It takes a little getting used to, but don't you give up. Keep working at it, because they do this on purpose. They make it complicated because they want you to give up. When you do not participate in something, you become like automatically complicit in doing it. You condone the shit that's happening because you're not doing anything about it. So this is why this is important to me. This is why I'm coming to speak to y'all, because I get it. I'm one of you. I understand the frustration with America being a black woman. You want to burn this motherfucker to the ground. But at the same time, you love the fuck out of this place because it is where our people built everything that we're looking at with their free labor through slavery. We know that people fought, died, put their lives on the line for us to have the simple liberties we have today. Like to go into any store, shop, even though you got a motherfucker following you around because they stupid. Or, like getting jobs that we were always barred from. Going to schools that people would never allow us in. That took human sacrifice. That took black women, children, and males to literally die for us to be able to take advantage of those things today. So I don't agree with the black people that are telling you shit like Umar Johnson and others that you shouldn't vote, your vote doesn't count because you're on a Democratic plantation. All of that is counterproductive, y'all. Thinking like that is why we're in the situation we're in today. Too many black people, and I'm only talking about black women right now, right? Sat at home listening to black males who are increasingly fucking stupid every day and who are very much anti-black. And when you have people that are outspoken and hugely liked, they're almost like a cult of personality, like a person like Umar Johnson, to tell black women that their vote doesn't count and that you need to sit home. And those women are not stopping and second guessing what he's talking about, because is he going to be the one that's going to be subject to imprisonment or death if he gets pregnant or if he has a miscarriage? Y'all got to start thinking like that. And you got to start understanding that these dudes that are always giving you all this great counsel on what you should do as a woman, they're not women. And they're not going to suffer under misogyny and patriarchy the way you are. So stop listening to them and start thinking about your own best interest and your daughter's future. And understand that as tired and as angry as you are about all these fucking people in this country fucking over Kamala Harris the way they did, simply because she was a woman and because she was half black, is enough to keep my ass on fire. I get it. Because every time I look at Trump being president, or I hear anything about him and Elon Musk, I think about all the people in this country who are motherfucking fools, okay? And who literally let indoctrination of anti-blackness and the worship of white supremacy cause them to be in a position right now where their families are being fucked up, snatched up out of work, school, and etc., and thrown all over the world wherever anybody will take them into their countries, simply because you let hatred and the fact that you felt like, if I'm better than a black person, I'm living better than black people. I fucking made it. I'm white now. I'm living the dream. No, you're an asshole and you fell for it hook fucking sinker because you're an idiot and you don't pay attention to history. Historically, white people always stick together when it comes to voting in the end because they want to maintain their power. And the reason they want to maintain their power is because they have done so much diabolical shit to people in this world that they literally know if they ever lose control the way they think they got it, they fear retaliation or giving the same treatment that they gave out to everybody else. It's called white fragility, y'all. So you got to be clear about all these things, and you can't let simple things that you have a particular issue with get in the fucking way. Like, it don't take much to speak up, make a phone call to the Capitol switchboard, write an email to your senator, write an email to your congressperson, and let them know, listen, goddammit, I put you in office to make sure I can retire and be fucking happy. I put you in office to make sure I can afford some fucking food and be able to take a vacation every now and then or buy some shit I want to buy. I did not put you in office to let some geriatric old motherfucker become president and fuck up the whole country. What the fuck are you doing? You know, you have got to be like stern with these people because they take us for pussies. They take us really like they can just do what they want to do and we ain't gonna say shit or do shit about it. You got to show them otherwise. You really do. First, you start with the phone calls and the emails and staying on that ass. If we have to do something different later, we'll get to that when we get to it. But right now, put the pressure of correspondence on their ass. Put it on them. I mean, getting back to the point that we can't let personal things that we have going on with us and the anger that we have and the disappointment of the election ruin our future. That's just my opinion. Because I always think every day when I look at how they're fucking up this country, how great it would have been if these stupid motherfuckers with their racist, hateful asses would have just let Kamala become president. Or if Biden wasn't as fucking selfish as he was and would have just dropped down after the second year of his term and let her take over the last 2 years, she would have turned this motherfucker around so great, these bastards would have never been able to implement any of that shit from Project 2025. But we here now. So now we got to deal with it. So now we got to block every fucking move they try to make, y'all, All you American people that's not for Trump and not for the bullshit and the tearing down of our fucking country. You got to start doing your part. Do your part wherever you are and let your representatives know. Look, goddammit, get on your job. What are you doing? We should see all of y'all at least every night on the news complaining, bitching, and moaning about something. Do your fucking job. Do something. Don't just sit back passively and let people do what the fuck they want, and vote hard against that shit. And make some allies over in the Republican camp. Bring more of them over to get rid of this motherfucker. Because that's all it's going to take. All it takes is a little fucking people betraying their own party to make shit right. How difficult is that? They do that shit every day in this country. None of them have any integrity. So it should be easy to get a few of them to roll over to the other side to do the right thing. Oh my God. It's very frustrating. It's tiring. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I got to get back to work. But listen, please, it's only a phone call. It's an email. It's annoying the fuck out of the senator or the congressman for like 3 minutes. Set your clock. You know, get your shit off your chest for 3 minutes, then say, all right, I'll call you again later in the week. Then do what you got to do. But let them know, look, goddammit, I'm watching everything you do. And I want to see you get motivated to get some shit happening, get some change going the people's way. That's it. And for all of our New Yorkers, as I wind down this video, wrap it up, I don't want this fucking mayor to be mayor ever again. Do y'all understand me? This dude is all about self, not thinking about the people here in New York City. He completely sold out all the immigrants, rolled them over and wrapped them up with a nice bow to everything that has been happening to them. Do not forget that shit come election time. You hear me, y'all? And look carefully into every candidate. Don't just go vote for them because you like some shit you hear them say. Go online. Google the shit out of everything they did. Go into their campaign. Read carefully through their policies and whatever shit they promising us. Make sure what they're saying makes sense and that you actually take a visit to wherever they got some office set up where you live, and you go check out the feel and the vibe of that motherfucker. And if you're not welcome when you walk in there and people giving you the what the fuck you doing here, that's not who you vote for. You understand? You have to change this shit up. And don't be afraid to put a grassroots organization's person's name on that ballot if you think they would be a better candidate. Because as long as people get enough names on the ballot, they can get in. Especially during the primary, right? So that's coming up, New York. So if you have people in your neighborhood that has been putting in the work all year, you've been running to when you need rent arrears, or you need to find out, hey, I need a second job, or hey, I need help with this, or I need help with that. How do I find out how to do this, and where do I go to get that? If that has always been your go-to person, then you need to go start circulating a petition of about 3,000 signatures to get that person on the ballot, or get those 3,000 or 5,000 people to commit to writing in that person's name on the ballot. You understand? Because we have to make change locally so that we can make change statewide and then federally. And that's really as simple. It ain't hard, y'all. All it takes is you to be committed to a decision you make. If you say, I'm tired of the fuck shit, all right, now I got to sift through people that's going to do the right thing by me and every fucking body else. Make sure we got decent salary, decent take-home pay. The rent is regulated federally. Because did y'all know there was literally a bill that they fucking let die because it was going to regulate the rent federally all throughout America? Check that shit out. This is why I tell y'all, pay attention to those bills in congress.gov. Go to all the bills that are proposed through all of the, what do they call it? The congressional districts. Read them shits. I know it's going to take time. Do the summary of it. You ain't got to read the whole thing. But find out what's going on. Because If the majority of us would have voted for that and got on our representative congressperson's ass, can you imagine having a rent regulated country where there's a cap to that shit? We missed that opportunity. Don't mean we can't bring it back, because we can. But this is why you get involved in politics, because you can make the change literally just like that, with the pressure of the people and a fucking focus, laser focus on what the hell is your goal. All right, I'm done talking. I've been talking too much. But come on, y'all get on that. Congress.gov, find out who's your congressperson. Then go over to Senate.gov, find out who's your senator. Get on them. Look at those bills that's on each floor trying to be passed. Look how people voted. And if you see something funny in them bills, you call up that person. I don't like this. And let them know. Okay? All right, peace out. Be well, y'all. Fight the good fucking fight to make America the way it's supposed to be. A real fucking democracy. And not this capitalistic shit. Okay? Believe me, it can be done. Anything you put your mind to can be done. See y'all later.